What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of Girl You Know What podcast. I am your host, Tahir.
And I'm Keisha.
And once again, y'all's cousins are coming with the bullshit. Once again, I mean...
How you have two shootings in a motherfucking 10-day time frame?
I mean...
Well, we expect that from the police.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I mean, it's just like, it is what it is right now. And it's just like... It's not going to stop, and y'all are just going to keep on getting the blues. That's just what it is, It's just...
I mean, I've been telling people this all week, and I might have said it to you, but this is why, it used to be like Black people would move to a different state and say like, oh, I'm going to move to wherever.
Right.
And now Black people are leaving the country.
Yeah, I mean, listen, just completely.
But I am finding more and more accounts on TikTok, and I'm following more and more people who are just absolutely leaving the country.
They're done.
Just this week, two people, a Black lady, her husband, their two daughters, they moved to Greece. Another lady, and they moved to Greece recently because she has a 9-month-old daughter, and she did give birth to her child here. And she said it's one of the regrets that she wished she would have left before she had given birth.
Oh wow, that's a shame.
It's pathetic.
It
and
is.
Then a lady and her husband moved to Mexico, and I don't want to say the city, but is Puerto Vallarta in Mexico, or is it somewhere else?
It sounds right. I don't know.
I feel like she said Puerto Vallarta. I'm not sure, but they have a 2-bedroom. I believe it's 3-bathroom townhouse, and it's beautiful. They paid $846 American dollars.
See,
I mean, it's like
it's
they
crazy.
send their laundry out to like be professionally laundered, and it's 300 pesos at the most. That's $14 US. I just want to point that out.
I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, it's like, but America has tricked people into believing that the best quality of life you're going to get is in this country, and it's not true.
It's not true at all. No, and they still are trying to pump that into people, especially people who are just coming here. They're still trying to pump that into them.
Yeah, people who live outside of the country, they don't really know, but we live here. And as children, I think even us being Black children, we believe that this was the greatest country.
Right, that's what we were taught. Yeah.
Like, we honestly believed that. And I think as we've become adults, we are starting to see that those things are not true.
Right.
Just like our eyes are open. Of course, we knew about slavery as young children. We're Black. We knew how bad slavery was. We knew the effects that slavery had on us. But as we get older, we're starting to see like every single fabric of this country is built in racism.
Right.
From the laws, like everything was put into place to keep anyone who was not white from being in power.
And that's what they're trying to revert back to. That's why I said it's reverting back.
Yes, and that is why Black people are like, oh, I'm hauling ass because I see what's coming. Like, I see what this looks like.
We see. Yeah, we see what it is.
All last season, I do believe I said this, get a passport. When we talked on this podcast, if you have to get out of here, get out of here. And like the lady who's in Greece with her kids, her and her husband, they work. Her husband has an IT job. He works remotely. His job is completely remote. She owns 2 businesses. Right. Like, it can be done if you want. And like she said, it makes me feel better to know that we can walk out of our house and my husband's life is not in danger.
That's crazy.
We can take a walk. We can go to coffee shops and not feel like we have to look over our shoulder. I mean, and then, honey, which is a whole nother show for us to talk about, she mentioned how the food, we don't have to worry about our food being pumped full of chemicals.
Right.
Everything here is fresh. Child, and we ain't even gonna get on that.
Listen, that's a whole nother subject. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to kill us, and it's okay,
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother show,
That is a
girl.
whole nother situation.
Child, it's bad. It really is. And I have mixed feelings about, us leaving. Like I'm like a part of me, a huge part of me, I should say, is for it. If push
Yeah.
comes to shove, yeah, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like if these white people who are, talk about how bad the country is now and how everything is just, horrible and, they want to be in charge of somewhere else. First of all, y'all ain't build this bitch. So it's never been your country. You didn't discover it. You weren't the first people here. You didn't build it, So it's like, why don't y'all leave?
You basically put your flag on stolen land.
That's what it is, and from the beginning, and they don't want people to know that.
Yeah.
And
I was watching something, Danielle, and it was talking about Native Americans. Well, the topic was something else, and it might have been Jeopardy. And there was this question, and they said something about fishing and Native Americans fishing, and the answer, whatever the answer was, it was like the state of Oregon or Washington. And I looked at Ronnie and said, I never really thought about Native Americans being in Washington and Oregon.
Oh yeah.
I said, but when you really stop and think about it, this they damn country, they was all over.
They were all over. All over.
They were all over this motherfucker. Like this didn't belong to white people.
Yeah, I mean that's why you got so many Native Americans that look like that you can mistake them for somebody Hispanic because they intermix with them. So it's like, with Mexicans. So yeah, I mean this was they were all over. You can go all over this country and find Indian burial grounds, find where Indians or I'm sorry, Native American. Well, I got confused because I said Indian burial grounds, but that's what they are. But Native Americans were, up north. They were down south. They were Midwest. They were all over the place.
This is their land.
Yeah, that's what it
got
is.
To be some shit to know that this was your land, and that they came and put you on a reserve. A reservation, excuse me.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I'm just like, damn. But listen, I stand on this. Don't nobody hate white people more than Native Americans.
No.
And they call them a white devil to their face.
Right to your face. Listen.
But
I knew it was some bull when this Native American, I don't know what state it was. It was somewhere probably out west somewhere, and he was running for office. I don't know if it was local or state or national, I don't know, but he was running for office, and some white old hag asked him, well, we need to see your birth certificate. I was like, girl, like a Native American, you're asking for his birth certificate to prove that he was born here? I'm like, this is his damn country.
Girl, that's them.
But that's them, though. That's their thought process, and they are so ignorant to real history, and that's why real history needs to be taught. But that's another show for another day, girl, because we can go on and on about that right now.
That is definitely them.
I mean, when I heard, I was just like, okay, yeah, we're done. We're done. This is it. Yeah, that's it. And that was just like maybe last year or the year before when I heard that. I was just like, wow. But yeah, it's bad.
They definitely, and this is funny because now I just think like all the times they don't want us to live around y'all. Excuse me, they don't want us to live around them. I don't want to live around y'all.
I mean that part right there. I mean, let's just keep it real. I mean, we can be segregated. I don't give a damn. But then when y'all move into our neighborhoods, and then try to,
you want to come shake our hand.
Yeah.
Why?
Or dictate not only that, but want to be your friends, but you don't want to, be surrounded by our culture and things like that. You want to. We need to talk about that. We talked about gentrification last season. Was it last season? I think. But
yeah, it was.
Yeah, and displacement, but there's different levels to it, and that's one of them right there. Yeah. So, girl. But something I wanted to touch on real quick, and then we'll, I mean, it's part of the show, of course, but I would just want to
Right.
talk about, and not necessarily just Brittany Griner, but for people who don't know who Brittany Griner is, which you should by now, but she's a WNBA star. She's one of the best players of all time. She plays in Russia during the off season. So she was in Russia. She got caught like an idiot. I'm going to say it. I mean, you can't do things like that. But, people with money and fame, they get caught up in it. It happens all over the place, and they think they're invincible and can do what they want. But she got caught with some vape cartridges. They're illegal there. And
So we got to determine what it is, because one day it's cannabis oil, because that's what they're saying. She had cannabis oil.
Well, I think it was in the vape cartridges, though, if I'm not mistaken.
So it still was cannabis,
yeah,
right?
It's still cannabis, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's definitely illegal. Get it?
Yes.
She's wrong. No doubt about it. She's wrong. But my thing is this. First of all, there's been a lack of support, and a lot of people may not know what's going on. A lot of people may not care. They may just be like, "Oh, well, she's wrong," whatever, like that. I'm on the fence about it because, I don't want to see her rot in a Russian jail, but at the same point, you did something very stupid. You did something illegal in their country. So
you broke the law.
You broke the law. So
I don't, and I'm probably one of those people because my mind doesn't really go past that.
Yeah.
Because this is how I look at it. If you did something here or any other country, your mama cannot write a letter to the jail and ask the president to get you out of jail.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. If somebody from another country, especially let's say someone from the Middle East, if they were here visiting or working here on a work visa or whatever, and they did something illegal, y'all would want them to be punished to the highest extent here by our judicial system. Y'all would want to take it all the way to the Supreme Court with their crazy asses. You would want to take it all the way there. So, so that's part of it. So I get it, why people want to see her back over here and everything like that, because they're scared for her. She's a black woman, and she's a lesbian, openly, very openly. So they frown upon all that there, even though Russia got their own shit going on. But anyway, this is my thing. And it's not just her, but when black women, period, are accused of crimes, or even when we get killed in a situation, people, especially black men, the first thing they do is blame her. Like I hate to mess up her name, but was it Ma'Khia Bryant, the young lady that was killed here? She was only 14 or 15 years old, maybe 16.
I think she was 16. The 16. Girl, you talking about the girl who lived in the group home?
Yeah. Well, she she wasn't even in a group home. She was at her foster mom's house.
Okay.
And the foster mom called some older foster children that she had to come and quote unquote confront her because she was getting out of hand. And of course, the altercation got out of hand, and there were knives involved. The police and so when Ma'Khia was charging after one of the girls, who was first of all older than her, secondly shouldn't have been there fighting this girl, she had a knife, and the police automatically shot to kill her. Basically, it wasn't just but the first thing people did was blame her. They didn't say, they didn't look at the situation like that she was in, and that she may have been in fear for her life, and then to come to find out that this wasn't the first time that this happened. So girlfriend just had enough. Now, I'm not saying for her to attack somebody was right or anything like that. The point I'm getting to is the first thing people do, especially black men, is blame her. But when Pookie is out here killing somebody and robbing people, y'all talking about free my nigga right away.
Right.
So that's the problem that I have, is a double standard. And
honestly, and I don't even think about it in a black men sense.
That was who I saw that was like really like saying, oh, well, if that was my daughter and she came at her with a knife and everything like that, or she was wrong and she shouldn't have did this. But that's not the only instance where that happened.
So in that situation, I did kind of feel like you shouldn't have had a weapon.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
But I didn't really, I wasn't even gearing I looking at, I think her name was Makai at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was more looking at the police officer.
Oh yeah. That's what I was doing too.
I'm always thinking like police,
Like you couldn't have
should take
tased
the
her,
opportunity to not necessarily shoot to kill.
right? And that's what they do with black
Especially a
people,
child,
right? Mm-hmm.
But then you have to think about it from the parent of the other kid's point of view.
No, I
If
got
it
what
was
they were
your
saying.
kid that was getting charged that with a knife, I mean, we don't really know. But this Brittany Griner thing,
Yeah.
this to me is just like a plain black and white issue, because I watch 90 Day Fiance and I see people from the United States go over into other countries and they do this all the time. You try to, number one, you're not familiar with the laws of another country.
Exactly.
You try to push your American way of thinking off on other countries, and it just it doesn't work that way.
You can't do that. You cannot
you
do that.
You can simply Google. I have Googled it at least 5 times since this whole thing with her has been going on, because I have a level of confusion that's like, now ain't this shit illegal? I'm trying to figure out what is the big deal.
Right.
I don't understand what the big issue is, because if she did the exact same thing on American soil and she had cocaine, we wouldn't even be talking about this.
No, there wouldn't be it'd be the
but that's what I'm saying.
opposite.
So like, how come just because she's in another country, people are making an issue out of it? If she would have broke the law in America, we wouldn't have thought twice about it. She broke the law in their country. We don't have any control over Russian laws, Russian government, over how they sentence her. We don't have any control over their court system.
Right.
She made a decision.
That she knew was wrong.
She talking about she accidentally my ass.
How do you do that?
That shit.
How do you
You packed your own bags. Listen, baby, you gonna go to jail. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know what people be expecting to come of this.
Right. Because like I said,
if
it would have been somebody else from another country that would have did some shit here, y'all would have wanted the same treatment that she's getting over there.
I mean, just think, if I'm going to say it again, if it was you, if it was me, neither one of our mamas finna write to nowhere and say, President Biden, could you get my
hell no.
No, I can't. Don't forget, when was we in middle school? Or was we like freshmen in high school when that white boy, I think he was, took a trip to China? And remember, it was a school trip and they spray painted over there, and they flogged his ass 17 times.
Exactly.
You get flogged 1 lash for each year of life.
That's it.
That was a lesson for me to say, there are many places you want to be.
And if our young teenage minds can gather that, okay, if I go over to another country, I need to abide by their laws.
But see, how old is Brittany?
Is she in her either late 20s or early 30s?
That's about the right age.
Yeah.
And they think that they can do whatever the hell they want to do.
And she's a celebrity over there, as she is here. So, I mean, this isn't her first time.
Oh, so she thinks she above the law.
Oh, yeah.
She probably didn't even think her luggage was going to get checked.
Oh, no, because I don't believe, now I could be mistaken, but I don't believe that this is her first time going over to play in Russia during the off season or whatever.
Of course not. And I'm going to tell you this, she's probably packed the shit before and never had an issue. And that's probably why she is so like, oh my God, somebody help me. I don't know why they tripping. So they're directly relating it to our issues with Russia. Because she's probably done this before.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because she was comfortable enough to do it.
With it being illegal, I want to go back to that. Some shit that you could get over here with no problem. So why wouldn't you just throw it away?
Right. Just wait till you come back.
Some of this shit be stupid.
Yeah, just dumb. And it's just
like when athletes get into car accidents, like drunk driving car accidents, it's like, bitch, the team will come pick you up.
Right.
They got a car service.
Exactly. They got a car service for you. I mean, yeah.
Some of this stuff be like, y'all, come on
They
with
don't
this.
think. They do not think, and they, like you said, they think that they're above the law. When you get to, and that's why a lot of these black celebrities think that they can get away with stuff that white celebrities get away with, and then when something happens, and then you're being held accountable for your actions, everybody wants to say, oh, well, and I'm not saying that because I don't think that he's done anything crazy, but Tom Hanks would do it, or Brad Pitt could do this, or Angelina Jolie could do this, but you're not them. You're not white.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, y'all just gonna have to get comfortable with that. You ain't white.
Yeah, just because you got money and fame don't mean shit to them.
Maybe
you
you
are
will
still
stop
black.
acting like you white, too.
Right.
Because then maybe that'll help you realize how black you are.
That part. Yeah. Yeah.
Because see, some of y'all do stuff white people do because you want to be white.
Mm-hmm.
You have a deep-seated need to be accepted by white folks.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all do the stuff that they do.
Right.
I don't think it's any reason on God's green earth that Jamie Foxx come from that little itty-bitty town in Texas and all he dated is white women.
That's it.
I mean, it just that don't
I mean,
right.
and let's just keep it real. I mean, Jamie Foxx ain't no looker either, but the white women that he gets with are not pretty. So he just wants a white woman. That's all he wants. He just wants someone white who would deal with his ass. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, but about black people being accepted and, being in your own environment and everything like that, let's talk about how the enrollment at HBCUs has increased, what they say, by almost 200%.
And let me tell you something. When you sent me that clip,
mm-hmm.
all I wanted to hear them say is because, listen, it's one real answer to that question. We don't want to be around white folks no more.
That's it. That's it.
And black kids did a real good job of saying it very eloquently.
Mm-hmm.
But we tired of y'all.
Yeah, and I'll send you the clip, and I'll put so you can put it on the Girl You Know What page, and then of course
I think I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I need to post it.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
because we tired. We don't want to be around y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It's plain and simple.
Yep.
We want to go to school in peace.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to feel like we're being stared at and looked at and hear your snide racist comments in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want it.
Yep. And let me say this real quick before we get back into that. My cousin just graduated from high school, so she'll be going to college, of course, this September or August, I think she starts. But anyway, she decided to go to Kent. Now, she did apply to some HBCUs, I believe, but she decided to go to Kent. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Of course, I was just like, it's your life, whatever you want to do. But okay, she's going to Kent. So, but she did say, like, now she came from a suburb here, Gahanna, which is very diverse. It's actually close to where we grew up at. And now it's even more diverse than even when we were growing up. It's always been a suburb, like within a city, where it's just like, you do have minorities that live there. And back in the day, it was because they wanted their kids to go to a better school. It's the same way today. But anyway, so she grew up in an area where it's pretty diverse. But then when she was going to when she went to her orientation and she was looking around the campus and looking at the demographics and things like that, because she wanted to know what was going on, she finally felt like a minority. And she was just so this is her first time at 18 years old, her first time being away from home. She's going to feel like that. And I'm happy for her because she's going to school. I think she's moving in like a couple of days early because she's doing this, she's joining this multicultural, like how schools like OU and OSU, stuff like that, they have centers and stuff like that where it's for black people.
Right, because Bart went to OU and they have a, multicultural group. Yeah. Where they have like an African American student unit.
Yeah, that's what it is. So she's joining that. So I'm happy about that. So at least she'll, be able to make connections and things like that. But she was just like, we were just talking about it this past Friday. And she was just like, I really, at that moment, I realized how white the world is. And I was like, get used to it.
When she went to college, when she went to check in.
Yeah, because she said it's like, even though Kent is a very liberal school, still, it's a PWI,
It's white people.
Yeah, and she said it's seven is, but I guess this is a good percentage, especially nowadays. But she said it's 70% white. But then you have to think about the 30% is not only just black people; it's other minorities.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah,
So it probably has a higher,
mm-hmm,
depending on, so what's Cleveland? It's a Cleveland area. It
mm-hmm,
probably has a high Asian population
yeah,
and a
mm-hmm,
high Latino
yeah,
population.
yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's not
mm-hmm,
just black people.
right.
I'm sure they probably have like a 7 to 8% black. I would guess
Mm-hmm.
no more than 10. I wouldn't think.
Right. And I think, like, with her, she was going into the mindset of picking a school like Kent, that it would be like Gahanna, like where it was just so racially diverse, and, like it was basically pretty much half and half, even though, of course, Gahanna still had predominantly white students, but the ratio was lower than you would think
Right.
now. So that really opened her eyes. And another thing about the video, was at the very end, and I was mad it cut off, but of course I got it from another page. But there was a young lady who said that she picked a HBCU over, and I can't remember which one she said, but she picked a HBCU over an Ivy League school. I said, hello.
Hey, I, I just always think about Charlemagne when people do stuff like this and just say white ice don't get no colder.
I mean, that's
And
it.
I don't know who. I'm telling you, the deprogramming of the mind in
Mm-hmm.
slavery
Mm-hmm.
is what has kept us bound for so
Yeah.
many years.
Yeah, agree.
It was the psychology of slavery
Mm-hmm.
that has really turned black people against their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we can't distinguish. It's why people will ask me, why do you have so much patience with them? Like
Mm-hmm.
if they refer to clients.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have so much patience with them? Or because they're drug addicts, or because they're homeless, or you know, but you guys, they're still human beings.
Exactly. Thank you.
Like, and it's the same way with black people. Black people have a really hard time looking at people who come from an inner city in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you grew up in the suburbs, or if you were, affluent as a black person growing up,
Right.
it's hard for you to see those black people who come from the inner city of Chicago or New
Mm-hmm.
Jersey, or who come from the Bronx, or and see yourself, because you're like, oh well, they've made poor choices with their life. Or,
Right.
there's
Exactly.
something that separates them. But you guys, we all came through the same slave trade.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Something about the psychology of what was done to them, the mentality of what was done to their ancestors in slavery carried through.
Oh yeah.
And your ancestor may have been strong enough, or your ancestor may have been fortunate enough to be freed sooner than
Mm-hmm.
their ancestor was.
Right.
It may have granted your ancestor a different opportunity than their ancestor was great.
Mm.
Than their ancestor was granted.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still black.
Exactly.
We've had the same experiences at the ground level, which is
Mm-hmm.
slavery.
Right.
But some people experienced more severe treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Some people experience the more severe treatment just simply by the color of your ancestors' skin during slavery.
Right.
And we have carried that over into today.
Still.
So I don't, I mean, it's hard for me to kind of get people to understand that. Like, we're still the same.
Mm-hmm.
We just had different experiences.
That's it.
Just because they grew up, and they had, their mothers may have suffered certain traumas. Their grandmothers, great grandmothers may have suffered certain traumas that your great grandmother was fortunate enough not to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make them any less black than you.
Right.
Doesn't make because I hate to hear black people do things like, oh, I got accepted to Princeton. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I got accepted to Harvard. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, don't nobody care about that. I mean,
Like, it don't make you no better than the girl that went to Howard.
mm-hmm.
It don't make you no better than the girl that went to Norfolk State.
Mm-hmm.
The girl who went to Central, who went to Hampton. Like, it don't make you no better than them.
Right.
And that's the problem. You have let white people trick you into believing that because they've accepted you into their institution, you're better than your own people.
Mm-hmm.
Child, I could write a book about this.
Listen, and you should, because it's a lot.
Because it is just like, it is a very disheartening thing. And especially to see the way that the world is like you said earlier, reverting back.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like we're slipping backwards.
Yeah, it's scary.
It feels like we're gonna be in the civil rights movement all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And especially to see that, I said this a week ago, I might have said it the week before that. Black people better start getting comfortable relying on other black people.
Right.
You better start getting comfortable speaking to other black people when you see them. You better build a solidarity with other black people. Because the way we treat each other in business, especially,
oh my goodness,
how we dog everything that a black person does in business, we grant Amazon all the damn grace in the world, and you will not grant your local black business the same grace.
Oh, they charge too much. Oh, they slow. Oh,
it's gonna come a point in time where you ain't gonna have an option but to buy
basically
from another black person.
Mm-hmm.
So you better get on that. What's that Instagram page? Buy Black Economics or something
like that.
Find it. They put you in touch with all companies black. Mm-hmm. Anything you're looking for. Look, it's some black people selling aluminum foil.
I mean, listen.
Like, it's some black people selling trash bags. Everything you need, there is a black company that sells it. I'm telling you, you better start getting in touch with it.
I mean, laundry detergent, soap, anything you need.
Everything.
Skincare. And who would you rather buy skincare from? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Somebody black is making it, and we got to stop this.
Yeah. And I don't even know if, I don't even know, is it self-hate or is it just not knowing? I just don't even know anymore. It could be a little bit of both.
I believe it's self-hate. People would love to argue that point because I've said that about black men who exclusively date white women.
Oh, yeah.
And you have a black mother.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never dated anyone else except a white woman, well, that says something about you as a person.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're solely seeking out white women based on some bias.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not love.
No.
That's not a love relationship.
Mm-mm.
You have told yourself, oh, well, white women don't do this thing. Whatever that thing is that you don't quote unquote like in black women.
Right.
White women never do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you told yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, if I was with a white woman, I wouldn't have to go through this.
Mm-hmm.
Or black women always do that.
But
so you've told yourself that. Mm-hmm. And I think it's the same thing with everything else. It is a level of self-hate.
Yeah, yeah. It has to be. That's what it has to be.
It is. I mean, and listen, if anybody knows anything about me, I'm not a person who's trying to force you to believe what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't argue the point with you about what you believe. It is self-hate. Yeah. Now, you can say, I don't hate myself. And I would simply say, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't change my mind.
Right.
And I know that I can't change yours.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't go any further with that conversation. I would just simply say, okay.
Yeah.
Because the proof is in your actions.
That's okay. That's right. You don't have to say it.
No,
we
but
see
you prove it every day when you walk it out.
Mm-hmm.
So you only arguing the point to convince yourself.
Right.
Like I wouldn't argue the point with nobody. But if you came from a black mother and you came from a black father, What about your black mama don't you like?
Exactly. It has to be something.
Especially when you're a boy. Because
Mm-hmm.
most guys have a love relationship with their
Oh my
mothers.
goodness. Yes. Yes.
So, what is it about your mother that you don't like?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell, listen, Sade 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Sade this flat out. And anybody who feel any way about it, whatever. I told her, don't you get involved with no man who got a negative relationship with his mother.
That part.
Don't do it. I said,
No.
I'm telling you what I know now at 42. So yeah, you 15, but she 15 and boys like her and she like boys. And I
Mm-hmm.
tell her, do not get involved with anybody who has a negative relationship with his mother.
Yes.
Always remember I told you this.
Y'all better listen to that right there because that's real.
Do not do it. If he makes little negative comments about other women, pay attention to that. That means something. Don't do it.
Because it don't mean that he's making it just about them. No, it's a general. It's in
Yeah,
general. Yeah.
he has an ill feeling towards women, period.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta pay attention to what he's saying. And I just told her this probably 2 days ago. People always gonna tell on themselves.
Oh yeah.
So you should always listen more than you talk. Let them explain to you what kind of person they are. They'll tell you. So you pay attention to that. That's something. And we got to start listening. I know people because look, y'all, these kids soft as shit.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like we ain't telling them a damn thing.
No, like who raised y'all? That's the part that I'm getting at. I'm just like, what is going on?
It's a lady on TikTok. She is like a therapist in real life. And she says, she said a lot of us were raised in emotional neglect. She said if you are a Gen X, us.
Yeah.
She said you were raised in emotional neglect. She said because in what other household did you know kids who had a key that let themselves in the house that knew not to open the door, don't answer the phone? You was like cooking food. Now she was a little young. Like it seemed like she was speaking this from her personal experience. Like, she said, if what other 6-year-old and 7-year-old that's cooking chicken? She said, like, we were self-sufficient at a young age. She said, could you imagine a 6-year-old doing all that stuff today?
Hell
Like
no.
these 6-year-olds, baby, I couldn't see it.
No.
One thing I can say about Sade, she can cook.
Mm-hmm.
She can cook and she know how to do stuff. She can wash, like she can take care of herself.
Yeah, and that's the best
That's
time to learn before before you get on your own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nana say, she gonna know how to work every job.
I know that's right.
She strives to make her responsible to take care of herself.
Yeah.
And I just told her, I said, look, Nana had me sitting on the stove, that little red stool she got in the kitchen. I said, when I was a little kid, I was sitting on the stove cooking pancakes.
Okay.
I was 6.
Listen.
I was washing dishes.
Yep. Washing dishes. Yep.
Like, I remember the summer that she made me make spaghetti from scratch. I like to die. I was so bad. And I mean from scratch, like get the bay leaves from tomato paste and sauce.
Yes.
Like this wasn't here, just get a jar of ragu.
Mm-hmm.
No, you finna make this from scratch.
See?
I was like, Lord Jesus.
Right. Like I'm a baby. Leave me alone.
But
you listen, she wasn't.
But I wish I the same way.
Mm-hmm. Because looking back on it now, because look where you're at now.
And look, and she know how to do it. You talking about? Nana say it all the time. Like that girl can make some good cabbage.
Yes, come on, cabbage. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, come on, told her.
Right.
She was like, hey, she can cook. I was like, I'm telling you. I put her up against anybody. She know what she doing.
I know that's right.
Yeah, but now these kids just, you gotta tell them. But I don't trust. I definitely put her on high alert. Do not trust no man who got a bad relationship with his mama.
Yeah.
And seem angry about it. Because there's some people who may have a bad relationship with their mother, but they're longing for a relationship. Their
Mm-hmm.
mother may be on drugs and stuff like that. Like they can't help that, but
Right.
they still love her. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they still care for her.
Yeah.
That's different.
When it's said, when their comments and just things that they do and say, their actions are done with hate, yeah, you can tell the difference. Open your eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell when it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm. Like, well, damn.
mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
that's your
you stay
reaction,
away from them people.
child, if that's your reaction to what he says, is well, damn, then you got to go. It's time to
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Child.
have to, we have had conversations about, because here, I'm sure it's like that in Columbus, but here a lot of young people have been getting killed in car accidents,
Mm-hmm.
like speeding,
Yep.
um, and I mean 16-year-old girls, 18.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about girls too, not just boys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Girls getting killed in high speed car accidents.
Yeah.
Um, and I said, "Oh, her, don't be riding in the car with nobody who drive crazy."
Yeah.
I said, "You can get out." I said, "If you feel like he kind of speeding, be like, oh, I left my whatever at the house. Like, just go back and get it."
Mm-hmm.
If he act like he ain't gonna go back and get it, be like, okay, well, can we go to the gas station and get whatever? It's gas stations on every corner.
Exactly.
It's dollar stores on every corner. When you get out the car, do not get back in.
Right.
We'll come get you.
Mm-hmm.
But do not, because I mean, she see the news. She's seeing these girls get killed.
Yeah. Oh, they're exposed to it. Like, I mean, you think we're getting tired of it and seeing it. Just think about how the kids feel. These are their peers. These are people
Yeah.
young.
I mean, because she's 15.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just recently. So what? Maybe 2 school years ago, a 16-year-old girl got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Just a month ago, an 18-year-old girl got killed. She literally just graduated in this graduating class.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 months ago, right at the corner of my grandmother's street, I guess at night here, they be drag racing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a 30-year-old guy, a 27-year-old guy, an 18-year-old girl. I think one was 17 and the other girl was 19.
Mm.
So 5 people in the car, 4 of them died.
See.
They said the car was going like over 100 miles an hour. And it smacked into the utility pole.
Damn.
I mean, speeding here with young people is like, I guess it's the it thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you have to have a talk with your kids.
You do.
About getting out the car. Give them tactics on how to, something that sound believable but sound like, oh, let's stop at the gas station so I can get something to drink, or something to get you out the car. Because it's dangerous.
It is. And then listen, and then if he got the nerve, because we see this too, like, me and my true crime, I've seen this plenty of times. Even if you do get out in public, if he got the nerve to chase after you, or well, not chase, but come after you, whatever, and make a scene or whatever, then that's really like no. Don't think like, oh, he must really care, because some of them do that.
No, he's crazy.
You stay out.
And I tell her, you ever seen Mr. Ronnie do that to me? I tell her in a minute, like, did you see Mr. Ronnie acting like that?
Okay.
She's like, no. I'm like, girl, don't you tell nobody treat me like that.
Exactly. Know your worth. That is what it comes down to.
Mr. Ronnie gonna play that.
Right.
He don't do that to me. You don't hear us arguing and fussing and fighting and doing all that stuff, girl. That is not normal.
No.
That ain't what you want.
No.
And you gotta say something, because these kids swear they be in love.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got kids out here, killing over people.
Yep.
It's just like it's really bad. It's just like, I just don't understand.
It was just recently a girl, she was 26.
Mm-hmm.
Her daughter was 6. They was found killed, murdered in a house. Their house. And then come to find out, the suspect, her boyfriend, I think he was 31, 33, shot himself in the head in Alabama. They had been arguing over a PlayStation, and mind you, the police had been called and came out to the house. They had been arguing over the PlayStation video game. And no sooner than the police leave, he killed them.
I mean,
And then was on the run and killed himself.
I just don't understand.
I mean, that young.
If you feel like you don't have anything else to live for at that age and you're going to kill yourself over an argument over a PlayStation.
But if you're going to
kill somebody, that's because that was the first thing. 'Cause he probably wasn't intending to kill himself in the beginning. No.
Oh God, no.
No.
No. But see, these young people, when this CCW stuff came, these young people started getting guns.
Oh yeah, yep.
You know, they don't have no criminal records and stuff, and they started getting guns. And now, okay, I'm gonna give you another prime example. O'Reilly's, the auto parts store. Two girls, one worked behind the counter, was arguing with a customer in O'Reilly's. Two black girls. The black girl says something. The black girl behind the counter says something about the customer's mama. They start fighting. She comes from behind the counter. She gets beat up. She gets up. She goes back behind the counter and pull out a gun and shoots the girl.
I mean,
so y'all can't even take getting beat up no more?
No, girl, something like that just happened up the street from my house. There were two guys that were arguing at Speedway, and I don't know if it got to a physical altercation. I believe it did, but of course, one of them pulled out a gun, shot the dude who got shot. You know, he was trying to drive away and everything, but he couldn't drive no more and died. I mean, so like you said, they're cowards. You can't even fight anymore. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting into a physical altercation. I mean, that's how some people, just get their aggressions out. Sometimes it comes to that, whatever. But why you got to kill somebody if you got beat up? Or if you're embarrassed that you actually...
Shooting is so permanent, y'all.
Thank you. For both of y'all.
I mean, you could punch somebody and they can heal.
Yeah.
But shooting is like, it's vital organs. I mean, and do you feel that angry that you want to kill somebody?
Listen, when does it come to that? Do you just, but like I say this all the time, there are so many people out here who just do not, they're so selfish, they don't have a regard for other people's life at all.
Yeah, they don't even think,
no.
It's just their momentary anger. Like, that's what they think about at the moment.
And that's sad that is the first thing that you think about is, I just got to kill this fool. I mean, I don't know what happened. But it's just.
And I think some people like our generation, that's why I say, talk to your own kids. Like, talk to them. You don't have to talk at them, but be honest with them.
Right.
Like, oh, I see what you're doing.
Yep.
And just talk to them about it or if you see a young person and you have a good rapport with a young person, be honest with them. Because sometimes people don't receive it from their parents.
Right, exactly.
Sometimes they don't. But be honest with them about life and, about what's going on. Because what has happened now is people just back away. And, I will say this, Ronnie is very quiet. But when he's at work, he has no problem speaking up when he thinks something is wrong.
Right, yeah.
When he thinks you're doing something wrong, he has no problem speaking up. Or if he sees you going down the wrong path. Especially if you're a young man, because he is the father to sons.
Right.
He sees you going down the wrong path, like he will say something. And, he's almost 50 years old. He doesn't look it. But, so they be like, I can't believe you that. Oh my God. So they look to him and say like, oh, I want to tell you like this will happen. So, the young boys he work around, they 22, 21, 23, they just now starting out in life.
Right.
Just having babies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, I tell the young boy, this is the most important thing in your life. He goes on and he talks to him. But see, we don't have a lot of people like that anymore who will like stand in the gap.
Mm-hmm.
And when they see wrong, or when you see these young boys slipping off,
you rather turn
step up and say, that ain't what you want to do.
Oh, you'll say this. Most of them will say something, but it's usually not good. It's not nothing
exactly.
encouraging.
You're talking at them, or no, encourage them.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell them you can do the right thing. Explain to them how you was in their shoes. How you was 20 with a baby or 23 with a newborn. How did you make it?
Right.
Because all they see out here is, if you struggle, sell dope. If you struggle, run a scam.
Yep.
Get some fast money. Pull off a robbery.
And that's another thing about this generation too. They just want everything so quick. It's just quick because that's what they're used to. So that's why
social media has ruined them on that.
It has. They have no patience.
If we could stress nothing else, that shit is fake. Listen, it's fake down to the bitches who working out. Because I'm going to promise you this. 80% of the bitches who work out had surgery.
Oh, yeah.
They might be working out now. I ain't going to take these squats away from them they doing now. But 80% of them had surgery.
Like, be encouraged by their work or by what you see or what you believe you see. But don't try to live that life. Don't think that it's going to happen just
real.
Like that. It's not real.
Smoke and mirrors.
Because anybody could put anything on the internet. I mean,
y'all, I know so many fake ass happy couples. Like, real talk, who, based on what they post on the internet, you would think, oh my God, they're so in love. He hates her.
Yeah.
She hates him. Like, stop. Just stop feeding into what you see. Create your own happiness. Listen, my granny used to say, eat the meat and throw the bone away.
Honey.
Like, you can't take every single thing you see and make it like, and I think that saying is like, you take the message, but not the messenger. Like, because sometimes we get wrapped up in the person that delivers.
Oh, yeah.
The message versus the message.
Yeah.
You can't take these people and make these people your God. And that's what a lot of people are doing. Like, oh my God, did you see what she did? Oh my God, did you see what she did? Y'all, that shit be fake.
Right. I mean, listen, because I could take a video or a picture from pre-surgery, my first surgery, and post it now and say that this was me 3 months ago, and people will believe it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, anybody can do anything online.
I mean, people can manipulate. Have y'all ever seen Catfish?
Why? That should have been the thing right there where this shouldn't be happening anymore. Catfish should have brought all of that to an end.
And with the new way you can do filters and reels and edits, y'all, don't believe this life these people telling you they live in.
And in a 2022,
half of them is
scamming. And y'all
we learned that. What's the boy name? Herbo?
Yeah.
They all got caught up in that credit card scam in New York.
Yep.
Child.
And then there was some other rapper recently. I don't know. I'd never heard of him before, but he got caught up. He's in jail now for taking out all these PPP loans. And not only did he not deserve them, but he was on social media bragging about it and telling other people that they should do it too.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, but now look where he's at. And then I'm sure quite a few people who followed him and was like, oh, it's that easy. Let me go out and get a PPP loan. If you're not caught now, that's the damn government. They're going to get your ass.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They just going down in the list.
Yeah, they're just going down the list. As many as they send out, they can take their time. Yeah, they're going to get you.
But I wish I could just ask one person who got a PPP loan this one question. It say loan right in the name. You didn't think they wanted it back?
I mean, right there. And then so many people who applied for the loan could have applied for the grant to get it written off, but they didn't do it. They just took the money and spent it and just,
But they
did things.
could. So I had to know somebody who got the loan, a very small loan.
Yeah.
And so from what they said was like, but to turn it into a grant, I feel like you had to like do something else. It was like another step.
Yeah, there was definitely another step, and people, of course, weren't willing to do that, and everybody wasn't eligible for it, but you could still try.
I'm gonna say this: they probably couldn't do it because you lied on the initial PPP loan application.
Exactly.
If it required you to have any employees or whatever that extra step was, whatever it required, you probably couldn't do it because the information you gave on the loan application was a lie.
Right.
Y'all can keep fucking with the government if y'all
listen.
Want to. I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't doing it.
I mean, it looked cute though.
Yeah.
I was hitting like on every picture. Every time you took your family on vacation, I was hitting like.
Yeah.
Every time you did an unboxing on that Chanel shit, I was hitting like.
Okay.
I was hitting love on all your Chanel gym shoes.
Listen.
I was hitting like on everything you was doing because the shit was cute.
Child,
but baby,
at the
it ain't worth the prison time. It ain't for me.
It is not worth it. Those temporary likes. And that's what most people were doing it for, to showboat and get likes. I mean, let's just keep it real,
I mean, I'm going to just stay on Poshmark and,
listen.
Over there.
That's
where I can just get me another bag.
That's it.
That might be gently used.
Honey, I just got
I ain't going to do it.
Baby, I just got a nice Michael Kors crossbody off of Poshmark, and that bitch looks brand new, and I carry her every day. Okay,
I ain't gonna be able to do it.
There's no way.
Keep doing it, but
I'm too scared.
That shit for the birds.
Listen, y'all keep playing. Ooh,
I mean, I was hitting like on all the shit.
Oh yeah, I was like, okay,
look at that. That's cute.
Live it up, honey. Live it up.
They on vacation. And I was thinking, like, I just knew it was some PPP shit, because I'm like, God darn, y'all be mad. How the fuck you buying a Rolls Royce truck?
Child, listen.
In a shutdown.
Right.
I knew it was shutdown.
How you at Disney World and you can't even take your kids to Cosi? Child, listen, you can't even take your kids to the zoo or Cosi, but now y'all at Disney World. Child, get out of here.
Baby. I heard it's like, how much it costs to get a Cosi? $50?
It might not be that much, but it's quite a bit.
A lady told me
well, maybe if you pay like for the extra exhibit
for my shoulder, and I feel like my physical therapist told me that it was $100 and something for her and her daughter.
Good night.
I feel like it was $60 a piece for each one.
And it probably was. I haven't been in a few years, and I like Costa. I don't really care for the new one, but
like, it costs that much to get in Costa.
Because I remember now, the last time I went was probably about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and no, that was my union paid for that. So it was before that when I went. Girl, it was like maybe $28, $29. So yeah, I can see now with the money that they lost. It's cute, but it ain't that cute. You might as well take your butt down to Kings Island or Cedar Point.
Damn, you sure might as well.
Listen.
You put on a lot of rides.
Listen. Yeah.
How much it cost to get in Kings Island? $50?
Something like that, yeah.
But it used to cost us, what, $19.99?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was super cheap because we would go all the time because it's less than 2 hours away. Yeah.
I think back then it used to cost us $19.99.
Yeah, it was $19.99 for students, yeah. Yeah,
but,
and Cedar Point was like maybe a little bit more because they had like quote unquote the better rides, which they did.
I never liked Cedar Point. Never in my life.
Oh, you never been there?
I said I've never liked it.
Oh, you never liked it. Now, when I used to
I'm not a roller coaster person. Cedar Point is for real roller coaster riders.
Yeah, and see, I was at one point, and that's why I like Cedar Point more. But we've been going to Kings Island. Matter of fact, we're going next week. My dad's, we go every summer, but my stepdad's job, they're having their day up there. So,
yeah. And that's when we used to go to Cedar Point. Because my mother's ex-husband, his mother, she worked at like some factory in Mansfield. And so every year, the company would have a day.
Yeah.
All their employees and your family.
shoot, you get to eat barbecue for free and everything. I am there, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice.
But yeah, things have
Oh,
changed.
child,
It's
that was so
ridiculous.
wrong.
Listen,
What just happened?
girl.
Y'all, I didn't even realize it. Not that I'm sleepy or bored, but who knows what's wrong with me?
Child, we old. That's just the conclusion I came to.
I didn't even realize I was doing it.
Girl. I'm not going to lie. I've done it quite a bit, but I caught myself a couple times during the course of doing this show, not just today. But today I've been cool. But usually, like, sometimes I had to, like, cover up the mic or something like that, so y'all may hear, like, a thump sometimes.
Girl.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, I just came to the conclusion.
I have to say this before we go.
Okay.
I posted this.
Mm-hmm.
And people seem to be interested, and I really wanted to say this.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted 3 on my Facebook page. I posted 3 apps for people who are just like want to do away with cable, who are tired of cable. 3 apps that are really excellent as far as price and what they offer. And I think you saw it.
Yeah.
Discovery Plus. What was the other one I said? I know Discovery Plus, definitely HBO Max. And there's one more. I forgot. How did I forget?
Let me see. It wasn't Peacock or nothing like that, was
Yes,
it?
it was.
It was Peacock. Okay.
Yeah, it was Peacock.
Okay.
And it was Peacock because if you like the NBC stuff, like they have all the Housewife franchises. And Discovery Plus has everything.
Everything. I will never get rid of Discovery Plus.
And recently I got rid of Paramount because I was just like, this really ain't doing it for me.
I think I got it free right now. It was either through T-Mobile or the cable company or something like that. But when it comes up for renewal, I'm not keeping. I probably only watched it once, and it was just like a movie or something that I could.
In the beginning, it was cool because it was the first app that I got.
Okay.
Not like, of course, I had Netflix.
Yeah, these newer ones that came out.
Started to come out. Paramount was the first one. I was like, okay, let me try this, and I did it because they had MTV, and they had, I'm big Teen Mom.
Yeah, they had all the old Real Worlds and Road Rules and stuff like that.
Yes, everything. But the thing is, it feels a little stagnant now because they weren't updating it. Like with okay, let's take Discovery Plus for instance. On the OWN app, when Love and Marriage Huntsville's new episode comes out, they upload it. So like if it comes on Saturday, on Sunday you can watch it on the app.
Okay, yeah.
Same goes for TLC is also on the Discovery Plus app. When 90 Day Fiance comes on Sunday, you can watch it on Monday on the app. But Paramount wasn't really, it hasn't updated Teen Mom since those episodes are old. Like they weren't keeping current with the new seasons. So I was kind of like, well, what's the purpose? Like, what's the purpose of this?
So what's going to happen is they're going to start losing subscribers, and then people are going to, then they're going to raise the price, and then nobody's going to be on it.
They need to let those shows go to other platforms. Like, let some other network pay you. Like, they do have Teen Mom on Netflix, but it stops at a certain season.
Yeah, because it's like it's usually like a season or 2 behind.
Because I was like, oh shit, they stopped it.
Yeah, and they do that on purpose. Yeah.
So it held my interest, and then I started Googling like, where are the old Teen Mom episodes? And then I found out, oh, I can get it on Paramount. But shit, y'all stopped them. So now I'm like, I've been paying for this I've had it for a couple of years now. And because at first, remember, it wasn't Paramount. What was it? It was CBS.
CBS, yeah.
Yes, it's garbage.
Yeah.
And it costs more than Discovery Plus.
Yeah, Discovery Plus is under $10. Y'all better get into it.
It's like $4.99.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. And with that one, you can have other people. I think you can have like up to 3 or 4 people on your account.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't have to be, like how Netflix tries to narrow it down where like it has to be like the same house or something like that. They try, bless their hearts. But
Oh, bless their hearts.
yeah, and Hulu, I believe, is the same way. I don't think Hulu really cares either. But yeah, but with Netflix, I mean, with I'm sorry, with Discovery Plus, it tells you on there that basically you can share this account with up to like 3 or 4 people or something like that. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just me and my mom on mine. So yeah.
Yeah, which people think is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
One day, one of my college friends randomly was like, "Do anybody have a Netflix password they want to give or let me use?" She was basically using it for her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave it to her. When I say like, I consider everybody I was friends with in college. I still love you. I still you still my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk to her on the phone one day. That's who I share my Netflix password with. It's just me and her on my Netflix account.
Mm-hmm.
And then my Hulu account, my best friend in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Her daughter watches it. First of all, they watch Bob Burgers all the time.
My mom does.
Baby Bob's Burgers.
We got my mom into that show, and Tina is her girl.
Child, they love Bob's Burgers.
Yes, that was the wrong thing to get my mom into something like that because she's already goofy. So.
And I think on my Hulu, I got Stars.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do not watch P-Valley.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that next week.
Yeah, we're going to talk about P-Valley because the things that I hear about P-Valley and the way that I feel about it, it's like, whatever, we'll talk about it. And then what else do they offer on there? Showtime. And I have Showtime on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I that's how many people I share my accounts with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
First of all, you better hope I remember the passwords.
That part right there.
I was trying to set up Peacock in the living room. I couldn't even remember the password to set it up. So. It's like, forget it. Don't matter.
Like, I'll let y'all know if I have to change it because my ass forgot it. But
listen.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good.
It's a good show.
Conversation.
Yeah. We hit on various topics and everything, so that was cute.
So we got 2 more shows left for this season, right?
Yes, 2 more shows because we are doing 12. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so next week we will be back with another episode, so make sure y'all stay tuned. And I did kind of slack off this week on the little snippets from the show. Yeah, so well, from last week's show, I should say, but we're gonna keep that going, so
we'll get some.
Mm-hmm. So I just started a new job this week, so it's been I've been like worn out, really. So yeah. But thank you again for tuning in. You can follow Keisha at Wellness and Women on Instagram and Twitter. You could follow her website at wellnessandwomen.com. You could follow our page at girl_you-know-what on, or is it good? Yeah, on Instagram, sorry. You can email us at girlyouknowwhat podcast@gmail.com. You can follow me at DannieBSpeaks on Twitter and Instagram. And DannieBSpeaks.com for my website, which I will be posting stuff to starting next week. I'm going to start getting back in the habit of that because I do have some stuff to post. But anyway, again, thank you all for tuning in, and I promise I won't be as lazy into the near future. So y'all have a good one, and take care, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.